Hi everyone. So today we will see globalization and the Indian economy, next chapter in the economics. So first we will see what is globalization. We will see only the important points now. Okay, so what is globalization? Globalization means integrating the economy of a country with the economies of other countries under conditions of free flow of trade and capital and the movement of persons across borders. So it is integrating the economy of a country with the economies of other countries. So with the different countries under conditions of first condition is free flow of trade and capital. The capital investment also and the trade, the purchase and sales also can be done between the countries free. So free flow of trade and capital and movement of persons across borders. People also can move or transport across the different countries. So this is globalization. The second thing we will see is what is foreign trade. So integration of markets in different countries is known as foreign trade. That means purchasing and sales of things, goods and services between different countries is known as foreign trade. And the Planning Commission in India has laid more emphasis on the development of foreign trade in the 5-year plans because of some major reasons. First thing is that a country can make efficient use of its natural resources through the foreign trade. So second thing is it can export its surplus production, whatever is surplus more than enough, we can export to the other countries. And another reason is that through effective regularization of foreign trade, employment, output, prices and industrialization, the economic development of a country can properly accelerate. So these are the three reasons why the Planning Commission in India has laid more emphasis on the development of foreign trade in the 5-year plans. Next we will see what is foreign investment. So as we know, the money we are putting as a capital for starting a business, for the land, materials, machinery, all these are called investment. So investment made by a multinational corporation, an MNC in a country is called foreign investment. That means if an MNC, if a multinational company of a country is putting its investment in another country, it is called foreign investment. An MNC is a company, is a corporation or a company that is putting its business in more than one country. So a company or a corporation that is operating over more than one country is called an MNC or a multinational company. So MNCs are playing a major role in the process of rapid integration or interconnection between countries. These are interlinking between different countries, MNCs. So it also play a major role in the Indian economy by setting a production jointly with some of the local companies. So sometimes some multinational companies jointly cooperate with some local companies so that they will also grow and the MNCs also will get a name as well as a portion of the profit. So for example, MNCs can provide money for additional investments like buying new machines for faster production. So some MNCs will provide some facilities for increase the production. So the local companies can be developed also, and they will have a share in the MNCs will have a share in the profit of the local companies. And an example is that Cargill Foods, a very large American MNC, has bought the small Indian companies such as Parag Foods. So now they are actually Parag Foods are known as Parag Food only, but they have they are facilitated by the Cargill Foods, an American MNC. Now the next thing what we will see is the impact of globalization. We will see what are the impacts of globalization in the world economy. So first thing we want to say is that MNCs are providing more employment opportunities to the masses and the local companies, because by supplying raw materials to the industries and local companies, they will become more prospered. But globalization had a defect that it increased the gap between the rich and poor. So it of course it is giving more job opportunities to the workers for jobless employees, but it has increased the gap between the rich and poor. Only skilled and educated class is benefiting from globalization. And another thing is that now all over the world, all the customers have a lot of variety of goods and services in different rates. Sometimes it is very cheap prices. So there is a greater choice for the consumers. They can choose whatever they want and according to their preferability, according to their capacity and the preference. So now they enjoy a much higher standard of living. And since the different companies are providing the same product in different rates and quality, there is a competition between these companies. So the quality of the product also increased because of the globalization. Now we will see what is trade barriers and liberalization. So to reduce the import of the goods, because sometimes some imports of some goods will destroy the small companies in a country. So to prevent that and to protect the domestic companies, the countries will put some restrictions and taxes and duties on certain goods and services. So that is called that restrictions and goods and duties and taxes on some goods are called trade barriers. But for the removing of that such a trade barriers is called liberalization. So India has liberalized in a very fast and effective way. That's why in India, India was appreciated by even United Nations and WTO. So WTO, World Trade Organization, was started at the initiative of developed countries. The main objective of World Trade Organization is to liberalize international trade. So at present, 149 countries are the members of WTO. So WTO is created for the effective use of globalization and the liberalization of international trade. At the same time, the globalization has put some major challenges for small producers and workers. We will see what is that, because small manufacturers have been hit hard due to the competition. Some of the small manufacturers, their units they have to shut down because of so many competitions from all over the world. And it is believed that around 20 millions of workers are employed in small industries. And because of growing competition, most of these employers, they prefer to employ workers flexibly. So a day off from work means that employee will not get any wage. Some days he or she may lose the work also. So we will see how government can take steps to ensure that the benefits of globalization is reaching every person in the country. And the first thing we can say is that government should formulate certain labor laws that are effective and that are ensuring the rights of workers. And second thing is how policies to protect the interest of the small producers against the MNCs, multinational companies. Another thing is that government should set some barriers to protect the domestic economy from foreign trade and unfair competition from developed countries. So in a nutshell, we will see how globalization has impacted in the Indian economy or Indian people. The first point we can say is that globalization has resulted in more choices for the consumers. There are more choices of the products, so consumers have more choice according to their capacity and preferability. Second thing is the globalization improved the standard of living of people. Since there are so many competitors, each producer they were trying their maximum to improve the quality. So when the quality of the product also increases, the living standard of the people also has improved. The next thing is MNCs have increased their investment in industries such as cell phones, automobiles, electronics, soft drinks, etc. So next is new jobs have been created. So because of globalization, so many new jobs also created. Next thing is some local companies that supply raw materials to MNCs have also benefited. So they will supply the raw materials to MNCs. So MNCs, according to MNCs, they can get local products with a cheaper price, and for these people who are supplying raw materials, for them it is a good income also. And next point is some local companies have been able to invest in newer technology and production methods. Since some big companies are helping the local companies, they could invest more money and they could develop their production with the help of the MNCs. Next thing is globalization has enabled some large companies such as Tata Motors, Infosys to emerge as multinational companies. So some companies they were the domestic companies, and because of globalization they could develop themselves as a multinational company. Next thing is companies providing services have also benefited by globalization, such as BPOs and consumer calls. So some companies that are providing services, insurance and such services, they also benefited by globalization. And lastly, from this chapter, we will see how the information technology, the role of information technology in stimulating the process of globalization. We know that globalization is between different countries, and how the information technology is helping in that one. So technology has been changing rapidly, and the telecommunication facilities such as mobile phone, fax, nowadays there is no fax, emails and another medias are used to contact and access information. So technology helps to communicate from remote areas, any corner in the world. By sitting in any corner in the world, a person can do the business or trade in the internet facility. So the technology has played a major role in spreading out production of services across countries. So I hope that everybody understood this one. Thank you.